Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. I work with women over 50 to help them live better lives through nutritional and lifestyle strategies. And I'm currently doing a little video series on pain and inflammation and managing those things because it's something I'm dealing with in my life. And usually when I am dealing with something in my life, I know other people are experiencing it as well. So we can work on this together. So welcome. Today I really want to focus on food sensitivities and how they can impact inflammation and pain in your body. I'm sure that some of you may have days when you wake up in the morning and you're achy and foggy and you're just stiff and when I say foggy, I mean like brain fog is worse, and you're bloated and you're just feeling uncomfortable. I think, maybe you've called it a food hangover. That's kind of like what it feels like. And maybe you know what caused it. You might be familiar, or you might know exactly what you ate that caused it, or you may not, So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about. Some of the things for as far as food sensitivities, I'm sure will not be a surprise, but some of them might be. So food sensitivities are always changing, and it's something that can affect us as we get older because over time when we're exposed to things over and over again, it can have more of an impact and cause trouble. And so you could take a food sensitivity test today and have several foods on it that you're sensitive to, and then next year you could take the same test and you could have a whole different group of foods that you're sensitive to. So food sensitivities are not like allergies. They come and go. And sometimes it's because you might eat a food over and over again. Other times it might be a food that's related to something else that you're very sensitive to. So you can't always pinpoint what is going on. So sometimes symptoms don't even seem to be connected to the food at first. You might notice joint pain and headaches, bloating, skin issues, fatigue, brain fog, congestion, that's a big one, sinus congestion, digestive issues, constipation, diarrhea. Those are some more obvious ones, but you might just be feeling inflamed overall. All of these could be a video in and of themselves, just talking about it and exploring it and taking a deep dive. But it's tricky when you eat a lot of, several different foods every day. It's hard to pinpoint what the problem is or which foods might be causing you a problem. Some of them are very obvious, like gluten. Gluten is the protein in grain foods, and when we talk about gluten, we talk about gluten out in the public today, they're primarily focusing on wheat gluten, gluten from rye and wheat, and gluten from barley. Those are other types of grain. Grains are actually grasses. They're types of grasses. So, but corn and soy and rice all have a gluten protein in them as well. And so if you're gluten-free and you've been eating gluten-free products and you're still having a problem, well, it's probably the gluten in those grains that are causing you trouble. And the problem with gluten is it causes leaky gut in everybody, whether you're experiencing the symptoms or not, because in the gut lining there's something called endothelial cells, and there is a little product in your gut and called zonulin, and it's triggered, and what happens is it causes the tight junctions between the cells to loosen up, so they end up with a gap between them, and the gap allows undigested food particles and things like that to enter the bloodstream, and then your immune system mounts a response to that, and it can trigger autoimmune, because what happens is the immune system attacks tissues in the body that actually mimic or look like gluten molecules, but that's another story for another video. you can take a deep dive in this, and you can actually explore it yourself if you think that's your problem. And there's a book called No Pain, No Grain, No Pain by Dr. Peter Osborne, and he is phenomenal in how he explains it. And if you read his book, you'll never eat it again, or that's what it should seem like for all of us. He's pretty compelling. Some of the illnesses he's helped people treat, and help people restore their health. It's kind of remarkable. But anyway, I throw that out there because if you're anything like me, you like to read up on this stuff and figure it out for yourself. Dairy is another one. You know, I think some of the teenagers in my family, we've told them to lay off the dairy and the acne gets better, inflammation of the skin, highly processed foods, excess sugar. Seed oils is a big one. That's been out that's pretty much out there now. Seed oils are very inflammatory. Seed oils are like canola, soy, corn oil, any kind of vegetable oil, safflower, sunflower, any kind of oil that comes from a seed is not great. Artificial additives, even some healthy foods. There are some components of vegetables actually that can be inflammatory, but that's something I will probably go over in another video later on. But I do want to focus on topics that can cause pain and inflammation to help people try to diminish that in their lives. So one thing you can do is keep a food journal and log how you're feeling as well. If you are feeling, you eat something, hour, 2 hours. If you have a mysterious symptom, write it in your journal. If you eat the evening meal and the next morning you're experiencing symptoms, write it in your journal. It's really just trial and error as far as how to help you find out what you're sensitive to. So I'm going to leave you with that because I don't want these videos to get too long. But if this sounds like something you're interested in, if this topic is of interest to you, please consider liking and subscribing. And I thank you so much for stopping by. And please, if you have questions or you want questions or you have interest about other topics related to inflammation and pain, please put it in the down below in the show notes, alrighty, in the comment section rather. And thank you so much for stopping by.